Hi, this is Kim Peck at My Stamping Garage. If you're watching this video, you probably purchased my fall October 2020 fall card class. And so I'm going to just quickly step through the cards and show you how to make them. They're pretty simple. You will get a bag like this that has a flyer with pictures of the cards and the sizes of everything. And then there will be this bag with the envelopes and the extra adhesives you need other than your regular adhesive. And then each bag for each card will have enough for 3 cards of that type. And there's 4 different cards. So the first one we're going to do looks like this. This is one of the fall cards. And this uses the Lovely Leaves or Love of Leaves bundle. It's the Love of Leaves stamp set and the dies. And so for this one, I'm using the saying out of here, and then I just die cut all the dies. I particularly love this die that does the stitched background that you'll see on one of your ivory pieces. So all of those have been pre-die cut for you. So you're gonna just take what you need out of the bag. I'm just gonna take enough for one. I pre-tied your bows for you. You're going to need one of each of the 4 colors of leaves, so make sure that you get those out. And with these, the dies, I don't know if you noticed, the dies cut around the outside, but they also have an inner piece to do this stitching on the inside of the leaf. I don't know if you can see that very well. You'll be able to see it when you get your own packet. Okay, so let's get started. For this one, we are going to use the Cajun Craze as our base. And you should have a vanilla piece to put inside. So that'll just go right inside here. And then you've got, be careful that you don't use the wrong one. Hopefully you can see that this has the little stitches at the bottom. So that will be for the outside of your card. And you're just going to go ahead and attach that to the card. And then you've got a little piece of designer paper. This is the Gilded Autumn Designer Series paper. And I used this particular paper for almost every card that we're doing today. So you're going to place that, and you can put it as low or as high as you want. I wanted some of these lines to still show, so I didn't put it all the way down. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach my leaves. The Cajun Craze one is going to go a little bit off to the right. You can put these however you want. This is just how I did them. And then your Old Olive. And then the Pumpkin Pie. And your Crushed Curry. And then the last thing you're going to do, and if you want, you can take one of your dimensionals. And actually, I'm going to use one of the smaller ones. And I'm going to just pop up that pumpkin pie, one of the leaves, just to make it have a little bit of dimension. So I just put it on the back there. And I'm going to pop that up just a little bit. And then I'm going to adhere the other one. And you can use one of your 3 little glue dots that I sent in your packet. And just attach, stick the bow to the little glue dot and stick it onto your leaves. And I probably should have had you stamp first. You'll want to put your saying on here. I'm actually going to use a saying from this Love of Leaves set. It said, "I thought of you today." And all you need is a black stamp pad. We're going to use that for all 4 cards or all 12 cards. If you want to use a different color and you have it, go for it. I liked the Old Olive with this, but I didn't want you to have a whole bunch of different colors of pads. So there's our finished card. Okay, let's move on to the next one. We get all this stuff out of your way. Okay. The next card that we're going to do, card number 2, and it looks like this one right here. And again, everything is punched out. You're just going to have to stamp your saying. So this used the rectangle postage stamp punch. It's new this year in the catalog. And then I used the Beautiful Autumn bundle and or Autumn Beauty bundle, and this is the Autumn Punch Pack. It comes with the 3 punches and a stamp set, and the stamp set looks like this one. Oh, it's Beautiful Autumn. And it actually has where you could stamp these. I actually used the Gilded Autumn paper and punched them out of this for you, since I can't sell stamped images. But the stamp set does have the images in here that go with that punch, and it has a lot of good sayings. This is a nice little set. And it does come in a bundle with these 3 little punches. And it goes with the paper, or you can stamp the things and punch them out as well. So for this one, we're using a mint macaron base and another piece of the Gilded Autumn, and these are all double-sided. Some sides have metallic on the back. They're just beautiful, beautiful paper. I liked every single sheet. So you're going to have your vanilla for the inside, and then you're going to take 3 of these punches that I've pre-punched for each of your cards. So each card gets 3. And then as far as these leaves go, there are some different colors. And so I kind of mixed and matched, but some of them, like you'll notice on this sample, they were all the same colors, these 2. The one I'm going to do right now is going to be different colors. So you can kind of mix and match depending on what's in your particular little baggie. I punched through 1.5 sheets, and so I started running out of different colors at the end. So each bag has a little bit different as far as colors go. Okay, so for this card, we are going to start with our mint macaron base. Fold that in half, and I should be using a bone folder, but I have never gotten the habit of using one because I didn't have one when I first started stamping. So this vanilla piece is for the inside of your card, and I do have a vanilla piece for each card this time. It matches whatever I used on the outside, so it happens to be vanilla, and all of your envelopes will be vanilla as well. And then I'm going to put down my piece of designer paper, and you're going to put it at the top just so that there's even spacing around the top and the sides. I would recommend that you stamp your saying, and for this one, I'm going to use a stamp from that Beautiful Autumn set. I'm going to use the thank you, because as you know, I use a lot of thank you cards, so that's what most of my cards that I make are. So you're going to stamp that on the vanilla, and I would recommend stamping before you put it on, because that way you can always flip it over and do one on the other side. And then you're going to take these little punches, and what I did is I put it even spacing starting on the left and then on the right side. That way it's really easy to eyeball where the center one goes. So I would do the 2 outer pieces first and then stick your center one on. And it's kind of, those little lines help you to kind of keep things straight. So when you get them on there, then you're going to take these 3 little images that I've punched out. And for this, you want to use, I gave you a few of the mini glue dots and a few of the dimensionals and a few of the regular ones. Use your mini ones for these. They fit just perfectly on the back. So I'm going to put one on each of these little pieces. The tricky part is getting the backs off. Oops, and I still didn't get the back off. There we go. And this last one. And so there's our finished card. And here's the difference, one with the green leaf and one with both of them in the Cajun Craze. But those are our finished cards. On to the next card. This is card number 3. And this one uses the Autumn Greetings bundle. And it comes with this stamp set and this die set. And there's stamps, or there are dies here to cut out this little piece, this big stamp here, and some wheat and pumpkins that are separate. and then some edge dies. So I used the pumpkins and the wheat dies. I didn't actually use the stamp set, except I am going to use the saying that says hello friend. So for this one, you're going to start with your early espresso base, a piece of vanilla for the inside. You're going to use one of these little gold hoops for each card, one circle, one little piece of vanilla for the saying, and a piece from, again, the Gilded Autumn set. That's the back side. And those punches do match this piece as well. And then this piece is actually from the Artistry Blooms paper. And if you're not aware, we're having a Designer Series paper sale starting October 1st. And this will be one of the papers. It's got several different sheets with ombre colors. It's really beautiful. This is another piece from that. And some of you may get this. I ran out of this particular plain, and I kind of like the patterned, but anyway, that will be one thing that you can get on sale next month if you're interested. So I'm going to take one of the wheat, one of the inside and outside of the pumpkin, the circle punch, which is the 2 1/4 circle punch, and my little vanilla piece. And for this, you're going to want a liquid glue of some sort. I'm using the Tombow all adhesive or multi-purpose glue that we have in the catalog. And I'm going to do this part first. You will want to put your hoop onto the circle. And to do this, I found it easier just to put a little bit, and with this stuff, a little bit goes a long way. It's very, very sticky. So I would say whatever glue you're using, don't be overzealous with it or you're going to have it everywhere. So just a little bit on the back of the hoop. And I didn't go actually all the way around. I skipped a few little spots, but as long as it's adhering in a lot of places, you're pretty good. Then I'm just going to stick that on top of my circle and set that aside to dry while I'm doing the rest of this. So that's a good place to start with this card. Put my lid on. And then your vanilla will go on the inside again. And this card is going to go vertical. So this goes on the inside. And then on the outside, I'm going to start with this piece. And I'm going to put this about between 1/4 and 1/2 inch, closer to 1/4 inch from the edge. And then I'm going to use the second sheet here and overlap just a little. And I did punch this out with the Banner Triple Punch, but I did that for you so you didn't have to have that punch on hand. And I'm just going to overlap, leave about 1 inch over here. And then next will go my piece that I just glued together. And I'm going to put that just so that I have about equal space above and on the edge here. Like so. And then it's time for me to add my die cuts. And for this, you can use that liquid glue again. You could use, if you have glue dots, you could use those. Or if you wanted to use dimensionals, you can use those. For this one, again, I would probably say use the liquid glue here. And you don't have to cover the whole thing for this pumpkin. Just do a little bit at some of the intersections along the base and along the top. And maybe one in the middle. And that should hold it. Whoops. Except I just dumped it upside down. There we go. And I would say hold it just a second. Let it kind of adhere. And then you're ready to place that on as well. And with this pumpkin, I did use one of my dimensionals, and I used one of the bigger ones for this one. But you could use the small one too. Whatever you have left of the ones that I sent, or if you have your own, any of those work. So there is the outside of the card, except for my saying. And I am going to add my saying. For this one, I'm using the Hello There Friend from that beautiful autumn set. And stamp that in the middle. And last but not least, I am going to pop this up, and I guess I should have shown you the finished card. This is what it's going to look like. And you should have a picture of it on your flyer as well. And for this, I did pop up the saying. So, and when I cut these, you're going to have some half pieces. Those are perfectly fine to use. You just need a little bit to make it stand up. And you don't have to pop it up if you don't want to. If you're going to mail it and you think that it's going to be too fat, you can just put them down flat. And I actually did mine right along the edge here and right up to the pumpkin itself. Kind of overlap the hoop just a little bit. And there's our finished card. These are pretty simple with everything already cut. All right, we're down to our last card. I am going to take this paper away because I got some of my liquid glue on there and that stuff is sticky. Okay, for the last card, I'm going to show you what the finished card looks like. This is it. And this uses some of the brushed metallic paper from the holiday catalog, the mini catalog that's August through December or January. And it comes with 4 different colors of brushed metallic cardstock in there. There's like a brass, a gold, the copper, and there's no silver. There's one other color. They're all kind of goldish copper tones, and really pretty paper. So I used the Love of Leaves dies for this, the stitched leaves dies. And for the inside, this is the piece that I showed you before that you lay down on the inside. And for the outside of this, I actually cut through the copper paper and I saved those leaves, but it leaves the stitching behind. So that's kind of unique for this stitching set. And then again, I used the rectangle postage stamp punches up here. And this is again from the Gilded Autumn paper. So let's get started on this. The base is one of the end colors. This is the Cinnamon Cider. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite colors. It goes so well with so many different things, especially for fall. So I have really enjoyed it. Here is my brushed copper paper with that leaf cut out. And then you will also have a piece of crumb cake with just the center die cut into that. One thing to be aware of, when you go to put this on top, you want to line that up. If your paper's going to stick out a little bit like this, just take scissors and clip it off. I'm going to have to do that on this one. It was hard to center these without having each piece, individual piece with the bottom piece. So it's easy just to cut away the excess that's sticking out. And then you are going to need 2 of these for each card. A piece of the gold cord from the Forever Greenery trim pack. Your vanilla for the inside. Your Gilded Autumn paper. And there should be a small piece of mint macaron. I really like the color combinations in this fall paper. I would never put the mint macaron in as a fall color, but the combination is just gorgeous. So the first thing we're going to do here is lay down our Gilded Autumn paper, and you'll notice backside of this one again has metallic. And I put this about 1 inch from the bottom, not quite in the middle, even on both sides, but about 1 inch down here and maybe 1.5 inches or 1 3/4 up here. And then before you put this down, you are going to want to adhere it together. So I used dimensionals and I just did them on the back of the copper paper. It's easier to line it up that way. So I put them right near the edge of the leaf itself. And that way I could lay it on top and make sure it's lined up before I adhere it down. So just make sure that that is kind of in the center there. And you'll notice I have just a tiny bit of this sticking out where I can see it. So I'm just going to go back with my scissors and just cut that off. Don't cut it so high that you see it down here, but just enough that it's buried under that paper. So now that's popped up a little bit, and I'm going to use my adhesive to put that down. And then, oh, I forgot to put these on. Before you adhere that down, you'll want to put these, and you can actually do it after like I just did, because I'm just going to slide it in underneath, and I'm actually going to adhere it down to the base of the card itself. So you can wait until after you have attached that one. As long as it doesn't run into your dimensionals, you're good to go. So just leave a little bit of that sticking out for a little extra color. And then for this part, I am going to stamp my saying first, and I'm going to use that thank you again from the Love of Leaves set. There are several other really good sayings in that set, but I just really tend to go toward the thank yous. So to put this on the back, the easiest thing I found was, again, to use your dimensionals. And I'm going to put a couple on the outer edge too to hold it down, where I'm not going to have the cording, because that way my tag will attach to the card itself. These in the middle are more to hold that cording in place. So take all of your backing off, and then with this cord, just wrap it around your fingers a couple of times, just in a circle, a loose circle. If you don't want that much, you can cut it in half. But you're just going to do it so that it'll fit onto these dimensionals that are here and stick out just a little bit. So I kind of just pulled it so that I had some showing on the front side. And then I'm going to adhere that down on the base, like so. And there is your finished card. That vanilla piece was for the inside. I forgot to put that in, but that's where that goes. So that is it for this kit. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, you can email me at kpeckstamp@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.